Yo, what is going on today, YouTube? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. And today, I'm finally bringing around something that you guys have been asking about a lot, and it's counter building with specific comps in mind. Basically, what I have is from 3 of my past ranked games, I have brought up both teams' comps. I am pretending like I am support on the one side, and I'm going to talk you through kind of what I'm thinking as I'm loading in, kind of what I'm thinking as I get into like that middle part of the game, and just anything beyond there. And what I'm going to build, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to play, and just kind of give you an idea of like what I think about as I load into game and as the game's playing out. So if you guys like this type of video, I can maybe do something like this a little bit more often so you guys can kind of get an idea behind support builds and stuff like that. That's the idea of the video. So looking at the enemy comp in game 1, Surtur, Rat, Agni, Geb, Chernobog, and then my comp in this game, Kumba, Olo, Set, Suki, Poseidon. So as you can already see, my comp very hard lacks tankiness. I'm really the only tank. We don't have really good engage. So that's kind of my job in this game. And I'm playing a really good engage god. Yes, I'm blink reliant, but that's fine. Looking at the enemy team, very solid poke. They have very good all in also. Like this is like overall a really good comp. This comp on the other side, not very strong. But if I'm Kumba in this game, my ADC is Olarun. We're laning against Geb Chernobog, Jungle Rat, Jungle Suki. I want to play for duo pressure as much as possible. We have outclear potential. And I want to play for purple buffs because we have really good purple buff invade because we have good sustain, good setup. And if we do get ganked, I have enough peel for the Olarun. He also has a good enough peel for himself where if Rat lands on us, I can start charging my 2 and then root him when he lands. If he has beads, then he has no blink. We pull beads very easily and then we can disengage. We also have very hard pressure in lane so we can play for their purple buffs. And then we can also play for these shield camp buffs just because Olarun provides this uber aggression. That's kind of how I want the early game to go. Looking at the mid game, we're kind of just like an objective burn comp. We don't really have great bait in. If I'm tanking as Kumba, we have nobody that can really walk up and engage. If I'm not tanking as Kumba, my team kind of dies. So if we call an objective, get to the objective and do it right away. And then late game, how fight should go is I should try to blink onto the Rat and try to get this Rat in combat. If it's something where we can pick him off or get him half health before the fight even starts, that'd be huge. If Rat's not playing close enough, I want to play for their enemy backline, playing for Geb, Chernobog, Agni. I'm more of a distraction factor than anything, so I'm going to be building as tanky as possible. Thinking about my relics this game, I'm going to be very tanky with my build, but relics, I want engage. What does that mean? Blink. My second relic is a little more up in the air, depending on how the game's going. If we're slightly ahead, maybe I feel like we can continue rushing objectives. I'm going to go Frenzy. If I feel like we can't really do that, maybe we're falling behind and we need more team fight-esque relics, I'll probably go Blink and Horrific or Blink and Shell. So I can blink into the back line, decrease their damage enough, and then dive with my Set and my Suki because those two gods provide a lot of damage in this dive. If one of them hits the Agni or one of them, or they both dive Agni, both dive Bog, I can just kind of keep this Geb out of the fight. Blink Mez him. When the Chernobog's getting gone on, he beats Aegis as Geb's still mezzed. As soon as the mez is about to run out, I ult him. Bog is still getting dove and Geb is unable to help. So something like that I think would be really helpful. Also getting just Horrific onto the Chernobog or the Agni to reduce their damage. Tankiness. Also, when you see Bog, think Fail Not. So it's going to be a good Spectral game. Spirits Robe because they have really good all-in off of a lot of their CCs. Geb ult, Agni stun, Rat stun, even Surtur stuns. So my build I think would be something like Sentinels, Thebes, Spirits Robe, Relic Dagger, something like that. And then maybe Spectral 4th, or if the Bog gets fed, I can go Spectral 3rd and delay the Relic Dagger. Also, Relic Dagger changed to 50 seconds. Pretty insane. It is pretty insane for a lot of supports. I think it might become must-buy almost. But going into game 2, Solo, Morgan, Kama jungle, Churn mid, Horus support, Freya ADC. As you can already see, very low teamfight damage. It's a lot of single target damage. My god is Kuzumbo, and my team is Rama ADC, Wukong mid, Bast at jungle, Eset solo. So again, not great engage. Wukong built a little bit tankier. Eset was playing pretty tanky also. Our like engage is based off of like Eset 3-2 or Wukong blink stun, blink knockup. Their comp on the other side, very bad engage. Really just 1 CC and it's single target. Morgan can be a bit of a pain when she transforms. But when you're playing Kuzumbo, you're mostly focused on diving. So Blink Thorns, pretty obvious, getting that out of the way. Also thinking about duo lane, a little bit of a riskier duo lane. Freya clears pretty well. Horus fights pretty well. Kuzumbo kind of fights okay, kind of clears okay. Rama clears okay. So this is a pretty 50-50 matchup. I think playing just evenly and trying to go late game would be fine, or playing for mid game would be fine. Kuzumbo is something that does scale. Rama is something that does scale. Don't know how Wukong mid and Eset solo scale. I think Eset's fine. Wukong a bit weirder. But I'm kind of fine just trying to get as many shield camps as possible, giving them purple buffs. It's whatever. We'll just trade that stuff. And then just playing for Freya's beads. If we get Freya beads, 100 seconds on the ult now. Something we can punish. Thinking about my build though. Blink Thorns, we already stated. Starter, probably just something like Sentinels in this game also. I'm another Blink character. I want to be tanky. But thinking about their team, somewhat healing. Camazot's good at healing. Dev's usually on Bog. Horse has his 3. Freya has some healing. So I'm going to probably want some form of anti-heal. With Kuzenbo, you stack Contagion, you stack Cloak very, very well. Also, I can go Contagion. Gives me 2 really good dive options. So something like Sentinels, Cloak, Contagion, and then like Genji's. It gives me a little bit of cooldown, and then I can go Eldritch Blink and like Pridwin last, or just Relic Dagger, and I can't remember what the blue Pridwin's name is, but something like that, and then dive in. Mid game, we have really good bait in on fights. We can pull objectives, drop them, pull objectives, drop them. We can also burn and confirm with ESET. Their confirm is non-existent. Our confirm is ESET. So we have really good mid games. And then late game, I'm the engage. We want to play for poke down their frontliner. If we can poke down Horus, engaging is a lot easier because he's their only tank. I can blink onto Freya, pull relics. I can blink onto Bog, pull relics. Camo, pull relics. Morgan, pull relics. Any of those is good, but I want to be the engage tool when I see we're winning these trades, because our trading is a lot better than theirs. Bastet, Wukong, you set 3 very good poke gods, and their poke gods are like Kama 1, Morgan 2, but this is solo lane Morgan, so not really good poke compared to ours. Going into game 3, Achilles, Thor, Ra, Ganesh, Anhur is the enemy team, and my team is Khepri, Chernobog, Nox, Bastet, Zhong. Looking at the enemy team, pretty good like area control. Anhur 1, combined with Thor 2, combined with Ra 3, Ganesh ult. Something you have to be really worried of. And me on Khepri, very big god that gets blocked by walls very easily. So thinking about my relics before getting into game and thinking about my team. I want med this game. Nox very cooldown reliant. Zhong very cooldown reliant. Bastet very cooldown reliant. Me very not reliant on cooldown, but I benefit very well with cooldown. Also, I don't have to go a bunch of cooldown in my build then. Because my build, I'm already seeing what I want to do. I want to do just a true backline Khepri game. Compassion, Thebes, Sov as my first 3 core items, and then I can go like a Relic Dagger. Because looking at the enemy team, depending on how the game is going and how I'm getting a feel for it, I have 2 options really with my second Relic. Med is first, no matter what. Second Relic, something like Sprint with Ganesh ult, Anhur 1, Ra 2. Just a lot of good slows that can control area, and I want to be able to sprint away from that. My other option is Phantom Shell, because Zhong, Nox, Chernobog, and Khepri all kind of get destroyed by walls. Also, if we're getting body blocked, I can pop the Phantom Shell to walk through the enemy gods, especially with how big Khepri is. It's always very nice to have Phantom Shell to be able to walk through the enemy gods. But this is a pretty stereotypical game. Dual lane, we're not winning. Bog, very bad laner. Khepri's fine, but Ganesh and Anhur can kind of clear and fight. So they should be winning it. We want to play for our own purple buffs, try to maybe steal shield camps, but it doesn't really matter if we fall a tiny bit behind. Our late game team fight is pretty insane. When it comes to mid game, they have better secure. They have really good objectives. That's what Ra kind of provides. But we can kind of let them pull the objectives and then blink in with Zhong, have Nox ult the backline, and if we have like a good dive happening right there, we can just all in dive with Bog and Bastet. And if it's not working out so well, we can play for the backline. I can pluck Achilles. I can hold my 2 usually for Thor. When I see him go onto my backliner, I can 2 my backliners. And then when it goes to late game, I'm not really looking for much except fishing for 3s. And the problem is I can't really hard fish for 3s because they win the poke trade. So it's like a weird point of the game where late game we kind of actually lose if we're not diving. So a late game, I think it kind of turns into a little bit of an all dive comp, looking to kill the Ra, looking to kill the Anhur, the Ganesh, anyone we really can. But I do think that their comp kind of is just better, even if their characters don't scale as well late game. But it's always easier to kill Anhur late game than it is most ADCs. So that could be a point of attack. But yeah, playing Khepri into a comp like this does not seem like too fun. But we won this game. But yeah, that's some walkthrough with my thoughts in like builds, comps, how I want to play, relics, stuff like that, as I just see the comps. Obviously, some things might change when I get into game and something is happening. Maybe Honor gets super fed, goes for a Demon Blade second, and I'm really worried about playing around Duo, but that's where I have to play. Maybe I have to go Spectral second. Kind of just first thoughts, what I'm thinking of, stuff like that. You guys should kind of be applying that to your games. If you do see something like, oh, they have Bog, fail not game, early Spectral possibility here. Oh, they have really no engage. If I'm playing solo frontline and they have really no engage like this, it's going to be a lot harder to play the game, but I have to look for kind of like big punishes, stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.